So I'm gonna do to y'all what I did to the class, and you'll see why this is what you don't do in a high school. So I would come in, I had a tie, and I would step in and be like, hey everybody, I'm Toussaint, and we're just gonna go along with this. It's already began. My name's Toussaint, and I'm with the Slam Poetry Club. We meet after school on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we're just doing a little research project. We want to get y'all's opinion. Is that cool? Yeah, okay, sure. Great. All right, I'm just going to ask you 3 simple questions, all right? You just have to raise your hand for A or B, okay? Very simple, very, very simple. Okay, first question. All right, if you were in a foot race and you knew someone in the race was definitely faster than you, would you A, compete in the race anyways and try to run faster, or B, drop out of the race? Raise your hand for A. Let me see. Seriously, raise your hand for A. Would you still compete? Okay, now hands down. Raise your hand for B. And say, fuck it, I'm going home. Okay, word. Thank you. Okay, second question. If you were about to take a test and you hadn't really studied for, and you knew you might fail it, so you really didn't study for this test, and you're either going to go to it or you're not. So would you A, take the test anyway, or B, skip class and go to the library? Raise your hand for A, take the test, I'm going in. Raise your hand for B. Fuck it, I'm going skateboarding. Surfboard. Go to, yeah, you can go to the library too. Skip class and go to the library and not take the test.
That wasn't an option. Go
That's, B is do whatever the fuck you want to do except for the tests. Okay, now we're taking B. Great. All right, last question. I'm gonna be out of your hair. If you were applying for a job that hundreds of others were applying for and you had the feeling you might not get the job, you know there's hundreds of other people applying for this, would you A, show up to the interview anyway, or B, not show up to the interview? Raise your hand for A. Okay, hands down. Raise your hand for B. Okay, I'm glad y'all are being honest. We're really actually surprised. You guys want to know why? Because I thought, most of you picked A. But you Roosevelt students, I assume foolishly, just from statistic data, that you were going to pick B. You want to know why? Because less than half of you are expected to graduate high school. And actually, those of you that do graduate high school, less than half of y'all are even expected to get to college, let alone have a job. Isn't that crazy, man? I mean, when you think about it, you have a better chance of winding up poor and unemployed than you do of even graduating high school. Man, doesn't that make y'all mad? That makes me pissed off and I don't even go to this school. I mean, I'm from the south side of Minneapolis, just like you. I had to deal with the same cold winters and bad football teams you had to fight through. Y'all look confused. I mean, the facts are the facts and there's no such thing as a slight truth. Is this the Roosevelt High School? Where future ambassadors from the south side of the city come to study, where future kings and queens of Minneapolis come to learn? No, couldn't be. I seen y'all in the hallway acting cooler than Cool Keith, like your swag's on a level less than a few can reach, singing that same jive just over a new beat. Woo-wee. It must be good to be popular, good to have the hottest wear, good to be like, I'm too good to be up in here, and that's good. You wanna know why? Because you live in a city with some of the highest racial disparity in the country. So high that not even the white students in this classroom can turn the other cheek because the white kids in Edina and Southwest even look at them funny. That's unacceptable to me, but all I hear in the hallway is, hey, did you make the basketball team? Wow. You guys talk about hoops like it's gonna save the school. When you're in a position where the odds don't even favor you to be able to save you, man, doesn't that piss y'all off? That makes me mad and I don't even go to this school. Between your past completions, middle school achievements, parents, teachers, politicking in the bleachers, whether or not the basketball team is losing or leading, your current demeanor to act like whatever it is, I have to say, you don't need it. It's not what you thought it was. Your teachers put in more working hours outside of the building than they do in. Your principal has been busting his butt so much, I'm surprised I haven't seen his head spin over the general consensus, Roosevelt is nothing but a building full of Mexicans and Somalis. Damn. It's amazing what people will say when they don't know what to call it. Personally, I find it appalling, but I hate to break up y'all's conversation in the hall about balling. We don't make the news until our schools get shut down because the board doesn't want to pay the lease. We don't make the news until our classmates get shot somewhere between here and the street. When the system's not fair, it wants you to not care. I really wish y'all had something to say about that. I don't even go to the school and I feel like yelling out loud. And then I would say, that was a poem. And they would be like, what? And I'll tell you, one of the craziest, but after school, guess who showed up? 20 kids. And guess what happened the next day? A phone call from the principal. Toussaint. Like every older white guy mispronounces my name with like a T-I instead of a T-O-U. Toussaint, we gotta shut this thing down, brother. I'm gonna pay you a sixth of what I promised you, and we're gonna call it at that, okay? Is that cool with you? And I was like, what? Just fucking squeeze me? Like, and so it ends, but one of the greatest part of it was I performed the poem, and this young white woman, she had to be fresh out of school, 23, and she was teaching. She was like, I saw that, and could you come up to my classroom on the fourth floor and do that for my kids? And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, why not? And so I go up, and this woman is so small. It's getting weirder as we escalate the building and go to this far deep corner, and I'm like, where's she taking me? We go to this room that almost looks like it was an old janitor or maintenance like closet, and it's semi-big. It's like half the size of this room. It's not a fucking classroom, I'll tell you that. And inside are the most hardened teenagers, apathetic to whatever the fuck you have to say. There is a woman in there who gives 0 fucks. There are students speaking Spanish and who do not give any fucks for English, or if you even spoke Spanish to them, they would just laugh at you. And then there is a giant kid. I mean, he looks like the mountain, like the young mountain from Game of Thrones, like what he was when he was 14. And he's sitting behind this, this is this big giant metal cabinet, and he's sitting right here, like behind it. And I try to pull off this poem, and they don't even go for the survey. They don't give a fuck. And so I just start making a dialogue. I just try to break bread, and I say, well, doesn't this piss you guys off? You're not expected to graduate high school? And the kid behind the thing is like, I don't care. They can eat a dick. And I'm like, is this your school where you started out at? No, I started at Washburn. Then I came here, but I'm gonna graduate college someday. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, all right. Well, you guys, Mondays and Wednesdays, Slam Poetry Club. So that was that.